Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another session on polity and constitution. I hope I'm audible as well as visible. Great, audible and visible. Let us wait for others to join, and then we'll begin our discussion for the day. Okay, let's begin now. Others will keep on joining. So, first up, a quick recap of what we studied in the previous class. So, we took up for discussion in the previous class electoral issues, and we saw electoral bonds. Then, part 1 of the Indian Constitution's Article 1 to 4. Article 1, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Article 3 is important because it talks about how the state's boundaries can be modified, how the uh, states' names can also be modified. Then we looked into the aspect of linguistic reorganization. Linguistic reorganization of the country. So we had originally part A, B, C, and D states, but now we don't have that concept. We have states and we have union territories. Okay. Beyond that, we also saw big state versus small state. I mean, what is an advantage of small states, but what can be a challenge of multiple small states? Once we are done, we looked into the topic citizenship, under which we saw the constitutional provisions and also Article 11, which says that the Parliament can make a law to look into or to provide for ways and means to acquire citizenship, also to provide for ways and means to lose citizenship. So we have the citizenship law, the Act of 1955, and then the last topic I think we covered was Assam Accord, wherein we came to see how the cutoff date, which is there in the Constitution, was how the Constitution was the date was modified, and now we for Assam people coming from East Pakistan into Assam, the date was now shifted to 1966 January, and also 24th of March 1971. Are you clear on this? Okay. Any issue with volume? Any issue with the video? Okay. Let's move on. Today we'll be covering a lot of ground as far as citizenship modification is concerned, OCI, PIO, some basic aspects. We'll move on to understanding UTs, including all the latest changes. And if time permits us, we'll also look into Article 370. Okay, so let's begin our discussion, but not before we take up for the discussion the first few minutes going into what? Some practice questions, starting with the very first question. Please mark the answer. A lot of you marked B, but some of you marked C as well. It is called a continuous economic committee since it examines all the ministries and departments. No, it is firstly not called continuous economic committee because of this. It is called a continuous economic committee because it prepares reports throughout the year on what steps could have been taken by the concerned department or ministry to improve upon their utilization of funds, and it does not. That's the challenge. It is not able to monitor all the ministries, but only a few of them, because it requires a lot of effort to give alternatives on how to minimize wastage of resources. One is wrong. It examines the budget estimates only after they have been voted by the parliament is actually correct. So no problem there. B2 only is the right answer. 30 seconds. Please mark the answer. Of course, part C. So we saw yesterday only. I had mentioned that modern day UTs are actually part C, which the part C category states are the ones which are now the modern day UTs, which have a direct central control. Refer to your PPTs from yesterday. In that table, uh, organization of the country before 1956, you'll find that mentioned there. Okay. Third question. Back to 45 seconds. Okay, easy question. A lot of you marked, oh no, not a lot of you, some of you have marked C also as the answer and B. I mean, appellate jurisdiction, appeals made through civil, criminal, and constitutional matters. Article 133, 134, 132. A is the right answer. Appeals made in these cases only is wrong. Okay. Appeals made in constitutional cases, yes, is a part of appellate, but only these is actually wrong because even civil and criminal are a part of appellate. And these are original, direct, and exclusive. Okay. Fourth question. Mark the answer, please. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so question four, first statement, the provisions of tribunals were added. This is correct. It is a part of basic. Now, you don't know what is basic structure right now, so this could be of a slight difficulty and challenge. That the high courts have power to exercise judicial supervision and charge over the decisions of all courts and tribunals within their jurisdiction. This is what was said in the L. Chandra Kumar case. That high courts are court of records, so they also will hear all kind of appeals with respect to the judgments given, the awards given by any court or tribunal under the jurisdiction of the high courts. 2 is also correct. Later on, you will also realize that this is a part of basic structure. You cannot take it away. That's what Supreme Court said, that this is the inherent power given the Constitution, that you cannot take it away. Then the cat is empowered to frame its own rules. Of course, cat will frame its own rules. And then the decision of the cat can be challenged only before the Supreme Court. This is actually incorrect because according to L. Chandrakumar, it can be challenged in High Court as well. So 4 is wrong here, and C, only 3 being the right answer. Lastly, question number 5. Which two statements are correct according to you guys? First is correct. They are not bound by the code of civil procedure. But we have seen that tribunals can review their decisions, right? So this is wrong. And in India, National Tribunals Commission, what kind of body is this? Where have you studied this body? Any idea? National Tribunals Commission. How many of you know this body or have heard of this body? Please say yes. It's good. Don't say yes because there is no such body only. Okay? There is no such body. What is National Tribunals Commission? Where did we get this from? Some random statement made and you say, oh, I don't know, it must be correct. This is wrong. Why would a commission be created to take care of all these things? In our country, we may want to create it in future, but as of now, there is no such commission. If there was any such commission, we would have discussed that in the class, right? There is no such commission to take care of the administrative and infrastructural needs of all the tribunals collectively, right? So 3 is wrong. 2 is wrong. It's mentioned in the slides only. You'll have to go back and revise the chapter tribunals. Okay. So only 1 is the right answer. Clear? So that's it. We are done for with the 5 questions. Now moving on to the topic at hand, of course, the leaderboard. Hari Kirti and Jani Upadhyay getting all 5 correct. Then Kirtana, Munir, Fani, Nitish, Vibhum, Chandra Jyoti, Shovik, Architas, Rakshit, Vivek, Rishabh, Vishwajit, Simran, Meera, Mahantesh, Deshmukh, and then others follow. Okay. We do not need to, Arena, mention or remember the names of initial states in UT is not really required. How can a person be allowed to reside in a country without holding citizenship? Visa. Have you heard of something called visa? That is how the person will live. And it also depends. Sometimes for certain categories of people, even visa is not required. Okay. Anyway, what is that category of people? This category of people. Overseas citizen of India. Who is this fellow? Overseas citizen of India. Overseas citizen is somebody who is not a citizen of India. And despite the name citizen mentioned here, please, it is very clear that this person is not an Indian citizen. Yes, Ishan, yes. It was responded to by the experts here. I'm not sure what is the concern. So, OCI, a foreign national. Can you read this word, this phrase, foreign national? A foreigner. Now, those foreigners who's at some point of time were a citizen of India, right? Or who was eligible to become Indian citizen, or who belonged to any area which became a part of India after 1947, who's a child, a grandchild, great grandchild of such children. So all these people are called OCIs. They are not Indian citizens. Please, the word citizen is there, but they are not Indian citizens. Okay? Then there is no need to mug up the definition. Then there's a more category called PIO, person of Indian origin. Same thing. A foreign citizen, a foreign citizen who at any point of time held an Indian passport, held an Indian passport, or who are either of their parents, grandparents, great grandparents was born and permanently resident of India, or who is a spouse of a citizen of India or a PIO. They are called persons of Indian origin. Now you may observe here somebody who held an Indian passport, yes or no? Indian passport, or somebody who was a citizen of India. I mean, they mean the same thing. So government said that OCI, PIO largely mean the same thing. It has lot of overlaps, right? Lot of overlaps. So government said, let's do one thing. Why to have two different kind of schemes? Let us merge them, right? Let us merge them and make one scheme. So in 2015, the OCI and PIO system was merged. OCI plus PIO merged. Now we have a common category, which is what? OCI card holder. This is the current category. OCI card holder. OCI card holder. This is after the merger of PIO and OCI. So why do you have all these people, OCI, PIO, or now we call them OCI card holders? Why? It is for soft power all across the globe. We have certain people who were Indians or have some association with people who used to be Indians. So it's like a global power for us. We want to establish a connection with all these people. So you may have heard of a word, I'm not really sure, considering the word meanings you ask me. So I'm slightly afraid of using this word, diaspora. Okay. So this is a way in which all the Indians who have been Indians, right? That notion, that idea is widespread across the globe in various countries. And whenever India is in trouble, these people may be used as a soft power across the globe. Okay, just building relationships. So this is OCI card holder. OCI card holder is not an Indian citizen. What they do get as an advantage of being OCI card holder is lifelong multiple entry visa, multiple entry, multi-purpose visa. You need not apply for visa, unlike other foreigners who come to India, like say Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar need not apply for visa again and again. But some other foreigner, let's say uh, George Clooney comes to India, right? Or Brad Pitt comes to India, they may have to apply for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Database. Sanchit, what is this? Which class are you attending? What are you copying here? Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Database migration is a fully managed service. I'm not sure what is. Anyway, oh, so I think you have copied OCI definition from somewhere and you're pasting it here. That OCI was Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Okay, so OCI card holders have the advantage. I mean, when to copy things, we have to have some kind of knowledge, right? Like a bot, you are copying definitions, and it's something else. These moments of fun, great, amazing. People who were at some point of time Indians, we still want that association, that bond to be there. So if you are such a person who had some association with India, so you can apply for the OCI card, right? And when you apply for it, you give your passport of that country you have the passport of, and a sticker can be stuck on that passport, that is the OCI U visa sticker. So next time you come to India, no need to get a visa. You can show that and you're allowed entry. That's there. And a booklet is also given to you of the benefits of OCI card holder. What benefits? Basically, this is a benefit that you have lifelong multiple entry exit visa, no problem whatsoever. Right? Secondly, you don't need to constantly to be in India, register yourself with the FRRO. Otherwise, foreigners, if they want to be in India, you can live in any country you want to, if the country allows you, right? You can stay here for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 100 years, till you die. But the country should keep on giving you permission. So you have to keep on applying for the permission to stay in a country. So for OCI card holders, no such regular permission is required. They can buy land, but non-agricultural land. Okay, not agricultural land. And parity, equality. Parity means equality with NRIs in all matters, financial matters. OCIs can start a business, they can run a business, they can perform any economic activity, they can send their kids to schools, right? Like Akshay Kumar is working here, earning money here, paying income tax here. Income tax has got nothing to do with citizenship. Income tax is paid by people who are earning income in the country. Okay, so don't say, oh, Akshay Kumar is paying income tax, he must be an Indian citizen. He is not. So income tax is paid on income. Clear? So this is OCI card holder. Clear? Now, what can they not do? OCI card holders have no right to. Tell me, what rights will they not enjoy? Of course, no right to vote, no right to buy agricultural land, and no right to hold constitutional posts. Okay, so this with respect to the rights they don't have. And I'll be saying this again and again. NRIs are Indian citizens. Any person who resides outside India for 183 or more days is an NRI. Okay, from 1st of April to 31st of March, if you have been living outside India for 183 or more days, then you are called an NRI, non-resident Indian. You are an Indian, but not residing here. Now, proof of citizenship. So, what exactly is the proof of citizenship? How to establish one's citizenship in the country? So, there is a case called Sarbanand Sonowal case of 2005, where Supreme Court has said that to in order to establish your citizenship, the documents, the proof, the evidence required, any document which mentions your date of birth, any document which mentions your place of birth, of course it should have your name and the date of birth and place of birth of parents, because 1987 onwards, 1987 onwards, even if you're born here, your parents, either of your parents must be an Indian citizen. So we need to know the citizenship of your parents or their citizenship. These are the documents required. So if I ask you, tell me what is the document for citizenship, you may list out some documents, but let me give you an idea of what the government says. Ministry of Home Affairs. Rish, yeah, what kind of questions you will ask? Somebody is saying docs kya hai? Documents required. We are studying something, questions are something else. Okay, so proof of citizenship. Now look at the citizenship in the recent times has been under huge discussion and debate, right? And look at the response of our government, how active they are, how proactive they are. They say citizenship can be proved by submitting any document related to date and place of birth. Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA. Please don't ask what is MHA. I am telling you what is MHA right now. Ministry of Home Affairs. Home Ministry. Now, MHA says what? MHA says that your citizenship can be proved by submitting any kind of document which has your name, which has your name, of course, but date and place of birth. As of now, a final decision has not been made. Document containing place of birth and date of birth. No final decision made on valid documents. The government has not taken a decision yet on what are the acceptable or valid documents which are a proof of citizenship. And we are waging a war inside the country on citizenship. And the government said, but documents, likely documents, but likely documents could include passport, epic. What is epic? Aadhaar, birth certificate, driving license, DL, uh, then school leaving certificate. So as of now, the government says that these are likely documents which may be included. Nothing has been finalized. Acha, right now, Aadhaar currently is not a proof of citizenship. In future, it may become a proof of citizenship. As of now, it is not. Okay. What is epic? Keep on thinking what is epic. It will be a surprise for you. Epic means voter ID card, electoral photo identification card is epic. Okay. Sir, my name is not in the leaderboard when I was scoring 30 marks. Leaderboard can only have 20 people. More than 70, 80 people must have scored 30 marks. Only two slots were left. You want the name in the leaderboard, score all five correct. You will have your name there. Okay. I hope this point is clear now. Proof of citizenship. Now coming to NPR, National Population Register. What is this NPR? So, at any point of time, all the people, I said people, not citizens, at any point of time, all the people in the country, all the people living in the country are registered in a document which is called NPR. It is a register of usual residents of the country and is based on self declaration. Who is a usual resident? Somebody who has been living in the country for the past 6 months or plans to live in the country for the next 6 months is called a usual resident. Okay. So, NPR includes both citizens and foreigners. Please don't be confused. This is not a list only of citizens. Any person and every person in the country who is living in the country right now is a part of NPR, National Population Register. Clear? Then NPR. NPR is basically an electronic database. Okay, now it is an electronic database and 119 crore plus names are already there in the NPR now. Okay, it is mandatory now, and every update has to be done digitally. So, the Citizenship Act 1955, Section 14A, these sections are all not important. Not at all important. So, don't get crazy. Don't be worried that, oh, I need to mug up the section. You need not mug up the section. So, that section says that it is mandatory for every usual resident of India to register in the NPR. If the government wants to create such a list, then you should register. And this list is maintained by the regional, the Registrar General and the Census Commissioner under the Home Ministry. So this person maintains the list of NPR. Now you will say, why the hell are you wasting money to collect this kind of information? What are you going to achieve by collecting this information? See, what you are going to achieve, that the government will tell us. But as of now, the purpose of NPR is to get information, all the people living in the country, basic information, and then that information can be used to provide better schemes, more targeted schemes for the benefit of people. So, what exactly is collected in the NPR? Look at all this information. They are collecting your name, father's name, spouse name, date of birth, place of birth, address, place of birth of parents, educational qualification, relationship to the head of household, mother's name, gender, marital status, nationality, as declared, duration of stay at the present address, your occupation, and your mother tongue. All these things are collected. Okay. So we also collect something called census, right? We also have something called census. Now, what exactly is the difference between census and NPR? See, understand that NPR's purpose is different from that of census. NPR's purpose is to identify beneficiaries for the government schemes. Census, on the other hand, is collection of data, but the problem with census is that census is collection of overall data. It collects overall data, and individuals' data cannot be used in census, because in census there is one section 15 of the Census Act 1948 which says that the records of census are not open to inspection, or they are they can't be used in court. So census data, individual data collected under census, cannot be used by the government. Okay. But NPR, the purpose of the purpose of NPR is for the selection of beneficiaries only. Okay. Now, some people are raising a problem here. What is the problem? The problem is, uh, you want to collect information and provide schemes, more targeted schemes, date of birth, and place of birth of parents. This kind of information is collected for what? Collected for the purpose of citizenship also. Yes or no? So, government indirectly is collecting information which may in future be used for finding out citizenship. That is there. Anyway, otherwise, the occupation, education, mother tongue. Again, mother tongue is also a problem. What mother tongue is a person speaking? How does what relationship does it have with respect to government schemes? Not really, but that's how it is. Second thing is NRC, nationality as declared. I'm not sure what is the explanation required here. Nationality declared, as declared, meaning whatever they'll ask me, which country, I will say Singapore, I will say Switzerland. I don't need to prove anything. I just say Switzerland and they write Switzerland. No problem. Okay. Now NRC. What is NRC? NRC is slightly different. NRC is actually a list of citizens, but currently the NRC is being done only for what? Assam. NRC is meant in our country only for Assam. A comprehensive record of citizens in Assam, either persons who had migrated to Assam before 1971 or were living in Assam before 1971. So, all those people who have come to Assam and are living in Assam, they will be a part of NRC. Why only Assam? Of course, because of the different way of life. It was to ensure that outsiders don't come and take up all the resources and infringe upon the way of life of the locals there. And hence, this was done. Now, this was prepared after the conduct of 1951 census, and lot of information was collected under NRC. So what happened was, I mean, I know nothing is visible here. Yes, I understand, but think of these are all names of people, names of people. So names of all the family members, house number, door number, how many people are living there, what is their age, gender, everything was collected under NRC. Everything was collected under NRC. This NRC had to be updated also at regular intervals, especially after the Assam Accord, because we had to update the NRC and find out who all are a part of NRC, and those who are not a part of NRC, they will be called what? Illegal migrants. Or else, how are you living in Assam without any valid document? So, we will conduct NRC and we will find out how many people are a part of NRC, Indian citizens in Assam. Rest will either be Indian citizens not in Assam or illegal migrants. And as far as illegal migrants are concerned, what is to be done for illegal migrants? Illegal migrants cannot apply for citizenship. So that's out of the question there. So illegal migrants have to be sent back. So NRC updation is being done. Firstly, this updation is being done because Supreme Court has ordered. Okay, and it is being done under the act and the rules. And what's the process of enlisting names? The process of enlisting names is all the people who were a part of original NRC, their descendants, etc. All the people who were in the voter list till 1971, and if any person can submit any of the admissible or valid documents, like if you can give a proof of your birth certificate, if you can give us any land record that you have purchased some land in your name, or letter from government authority. Assam had large number of tribal people, and hence the NRC was conducted to ensure that the outsider influence in Assam is minimized. Outsiders don't interfere in the local way of life. That is why NRC for Assam only. I hope this point is clear now. Now, this updation was being done, yes or no? We all know this. And when the first list came out, I think the first draft came out in July 2018, 30th of July. First draft, July 2018. Then again, one supplementary list, additional draft. This came out next year in August 2019. So, despite this, you'll find that around 40 lakh people's names were excluded. Excluded. So if your name is not there, then you are given a rejection slip. You can get the rejection slip from the office there, and take the rejection slip and go to the foreigner tribunal and there you can complain that, see, my name is not in the NRC and I have been living here, etc., etc., and then the foreign tribunal will decide what steps to be taken. See, when this list was published, you'll be surprised that 40 lakh people's name were not there, and almost 4 lakh people did not even file any claim that my name is not there. Maybe they have no idea only. And let me also add, final list is yet to be made public. Final list is yet to be released. Just tell me something. Let's assume that NRC task is done and we find that there are 10 lakh people in Assam who don't have any valid document. This means they are illegal migrants. Now, please tell me, what steps will the government take? If you are the officer and you are in charge, what step will you take? After this identification of illegal migrants has happened, then what do we do? Should settle them in other parts of the nation. Why? Oh, Sachin says kill them or kick them. Kill them is okay, understandable. Where will you kick them? Request them to go back. Oh, how sweet. Capital punishment. Okay. Arjun says capital punishment. Okay, send them all back to their parent country. We don't know their parent country. How will we deport them? Anyway, so all the suggestions you made so far don't seem to be valid, barring a few who said there is no alternative, we'll have to give them citizenship. Frankly, that's the only thing that can be done. Nothing else which does not violate human rights can be done. That's the only way, right? So, a very interesting problem has come up with us, and that is why nobody is interested in finalizing the list, right? No interest is being shown in finalizing this list. Bangladesh is a friendly country. Who said Bangladesh is a friendly country? I mean, they are too small compared to India, and that is why they have to be friends with India, right? So, friendship does not come. There is no friendship between unequals. Let me clarify. Friendship is only between equals. So this is all as far as NRC is concerned. NPR is a list of all the people. NRC is a list of citizens only, but currently NRC is only for Assam. Okay, that's it. Solve this question. Came in the year 2021, long, long time ago. NRC was first conducted in 1951. If IFS spent most of her life outside India, then does she become NRI? You can be categorized under NRI. No, Garvit, I don't think. There is no loophole in the citizenship law. The loophole was with respect to the lack of regular updation. Okay, a lot of you got this correct. A citizen by birth only can become head of state. Is there any country which says that only those people born on the soil of the country will become the head? Of course, USA is the example. Here, only a natural born citizen can become the US president. But in India, there is no such concept. Anybody can be the president, whether you are a naturalized citizen, citizen through registration, by birth, etc. So, two is wrong. Number three, of foreigner once granted citizenship cannot be deprived of it. They can be deprived. There is a section called Section 10, deprivation, applicable for what? Applicable for those people obtaining citizenship through registration or naturalization. Their citizenship can be taken away. 2 and 3 are wrong. A1 only. India has single citizenship, single domicile. Okay. Now coming to CAA 2019. This amendment was made in pursuance of some government notifications issued by the government in 2015 and 2016. I hope you know CA 2019. I'll just explain things and also give you some finer details, and then we can critically evaluate whether it is actually unconstitutional or constitutional. Now, before we discuss CAA 2019, let me just remind you once again that there's a group of people, a class, a category of people called illegal migrants. Migrants, people who have left their country out of choice, are called migrants. And then we have illegal migrants. Who are illegal migrants? Illegal migrants are those people who have left their country out of choice. And when it comes to the granting of citizenship to these illegal migrants, they cannot be given citizenship. Illegal migrants are prohibited from applying for citizenship. In fact, if you find that you are an illegal migrant, we'll have to jail you, find out your country, and then send you back to your parent country under laws like the Foreigners Act and Passport Entry into India Act. Under these laws, people can be sent to jail, or if we are able to identify appropriately their parent country, then we can send them back to their parent country. Now, important. Back in September 2015, and also July 2016, government said that, see, some illegal migrants coming from certain countries, they will not be punished under the Foreigners Act or the Passport Entry into India Act. Okay, some illegal migrants will not be punished. Those illegal migrants who came to India till last year. In 2015, I am making this order. Till last year means what? Till 2014. Which kind of migrants? So those illegal migrants who came from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, or Pakistan, on or before 31st of December 2014 and belong to 6 religions: Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism, and Christianity. So these 6 religious groups, these groups will not be jailed, will not be punished, will not be deported. Clear? This is the basic background. Now the act. So the act, you will have to have a clarity here. This CAA does not give anybody citizenship. It simply says that certain class of illegal migrants belonging to certain communities coming from certain countries before a certain date, they will, look at the phrase, will not be treated as illegal migrants, meaning we will not treat you as illegal migrant. So if we don't treat you as illegal, then you are legal. If you are a legal migrant, then you can apply for citizenship. That's the whole point here. Nobody is being given any citizenship, right? Nobody should be given any citizenship. Basically, the point here is that we need to make provisions, enabling provisions, so that some people may apply for citizenship. Clear? Now, the moment these people who were earlier illegal migrants, now no longer illegal migrants, they apply for citizenship and we give them citizenship. Okay. From the date of their entry into India, any case pending against them with respect to their citizenship, all the cases are removed. Okay. And they will be considered to be Indian citizens from the date of their entry into India. This is what is the law. This is the act. Now, one more thing. Yesterday we had seen this point of naturalization. Do you remember? Naturalization, where you have to stay in the country for how many years? Tell me. How many years in total? 1 plus 11, 12 years. So, if this is the diagram, then last 1 year continuously, and before that 11 out of 14 years. Total 12 years. Okay. Now, for those illegal migrants who are coming from these 3 countries and belong to these 6 religions, these people, for them, this 11 has been reduced to 5 for eligible illegal migrants. Law has not been changed for all. It's the same for others. It is just that for these illegal migrants who were earlier illegal migrants coming from these 3 countries, belonging to these 6 religions, they will not be treated as illegal migrants. So, for these people, the naturalization process has also been diluted, wherein such migrants or such illegal migrants, their number, their tenure of residency has been reduced from 11 to 5 years. Okay. So here from 11 to 5. This means what's the total? 6 years. Okay, are we clear so far? Now, if you are an illegal migrant in Punjab coming from Pakistan, no problem. If you're an illegal migrant coming to UP, no problem. Bihar, no problem. Bengal, no problem. But if you came from Pakistan, came running into India, and you kept on running and went to Assam only, uh, then maybe you will not get the benefit. Some people living in some specific areas of the country, despite coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan, or Bangladesh, despite being a Hindu, Christian, Jain, etc., they will still not get the benefit of citizenship. Okay, some areas are exempted. Before that, this act also creates a new ground for cancelling the OCI registration. So, OCI card holder, any person who is an OCI card holder, their card can be cancelled. Their OCI card can be cancelled if they violate any law notified by the central government. If they violate any law notified by the central government, any law, then their OCI card will be cancelled. What kind of laws? As of now, we don't know. Okay, as of now, we do not know, but the government will tell us what laws, if you break, your OCI card can be cancelled. I think some serious laws only. We cannot say that, okay, you have jumped the red signal, cancel his OCI card. That's disproportionate punishment. So we cannot have somebody spitting on the road, OCI card holder, and his card cancelled, because that's the beauty, that when it comes to people who leave India and go to some other country, we follow all the rules and regulations. But when we are back to India, we are back to our original true self, where we don't follow any rule or regulation. Are you clear so far? This is just on a side note. In the same law, there is an additional provision also that your OCI card can be cancelled. As I was saying, that the benefit of you not being considered an illegal migrant, opening the doors for you applying, you being able to apply for citizenship, this benefit is not applicable to certain class of illegal migrants. Okay, so the amendments on the citizenship laws to the specified class of illegal migrants will not apply to certain areas. What areas? Number one, Schedule 6 areas. Schedule 6 areas are areas in 4 states of Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. Clear? In these areas, there are some districts in these states. If you are in any district which is under Schedule 6 area, then you will still be considered to be illegal migrant only. Why did you go to that area? You're bad. Second, there are some states in the country which are regulated by inner line permit. Inner line permit. Now, what is that? See, back in 1870s, 1873 to be exact, Britishers Britishers passed a regulation which was called the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation. Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation. Basically, Britishers said that, those eastern frontiers, areas in the east of Bengal, those areas have largely indigenous and tribal population with very distinct culture and way of life. We don't want to interfere, so outsiders will not be allowed to settle in those parts of the country, those parts. That is why they brought a law. they brought a rule saying that you Indians, you will not interfere. We will be the only ones to harass them. Anyway, the point is that in 1950, the government of India also found this idea to be very useful. That yes, those are people with distinct culture, way of life. So outsiders. Arey Vivek, just have patience. We're discussing the provisions only. Why is Islam not included? We'll discuss that once we analyze it. Let's know the provisions first. Half baked knowledge is very dangerous here. Have the patience. Anyway, so as we also felt after independence that settlement in these areas could jeopardize those tribal people's distinct culture, way of life, etc. Right? So regulation was made, rules were created called inner line permit. Now, if somebody is here is from Maharashtra and you want to go to Gujarat, you want to go to say Goa, Karnataka, somebody from UP wants to go to Bihar, etc. What is the document required? Tell me. If you want to go from UP to Bihar, Odisha to Andhra Pradesh or Hyderabad, Telangana, what is the document required? Nothing. Nothing is required. But if you want to go to or enter Arunachal, I am talking about us, Indians. If you want to enter Nagaland, if you want to enter Manipur, right? If you want to enter Mizoram, these states are regulated by inner line permit. Inner line permit, wherein you have to get the local authorities approval before entering these states. It's not a difficult task, it's not complicated, but a document is required. Inner line permit is required. Okay, so this is with respect to special treatment for certain areas. What is schedule 6 area, how are these areas identified, we'll discuss it later on, hopefully tomorrow only, right? So till then, have patience. And that document is an inner line permit. The document required is called inner line permit. This is the document required. Are we clear on this? So this is with respect, it is a very simple document. There is nothing unique here, no complications. Okay. So these are the provisions of CAA 2019. Clear? Nitesh, sir, is this not violation of Article 19? No, no. It is not a violation of Article 19. Article 19 allows exceptions. This is an exception of Article 19. So, I just explained why this document is required. I'll explain this again. Though it is available, please wake up. Don't be sleeping. Because only few people ask me to repeat again and again. Just a handful of people. So the point is, hear me out now. There are some parts of the country which back in British Indian times, the British government felt, or the British Indian government felt, their people live a very distinct life, distinct from the larger part of the country. Okay. And if you allow free movement of people from other parts of the country to those areas which were living a very distinct culture and distinct way of life, then their culture might get face an impact or a threat to their culture. So a rule was made. That rule was called Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation of 1873 to prevent settlement of outsiders in the eastern part of Bengal to protect the indigenous and tribal population. Clear so far? Everyone? Okay. Now, by 1950, we also realized, the Indian government, us Indians, when we were independent, that this rule was actually very appropriate. Anyway, if you even now, let's say you go to Meghalaya, etc., you will find that there are a lot of small kingdoms in Meghalaya where no, now kingdoms still claim that we are independent and sovereign. No treaty was signed with us. On what basis has India occupied us? These issues can crop up. Anyway, so with respect to the tribals, we realized that yes, the original rule was very appropriate. These tribals have a very distinct culture, way of life, and if we allow free movement and settlement of the rest of the people of the country in these areas, then the very unique and distinct culture of these people, because it's a very low density populated area, so lesser people, so the culture may get impacted. It may lead to the culture being completely wiped off. So we said that there will be a document required by the government of India, right, to enter these areas. If I want to enter Arunachal Pradesh, I need to get this document from the government of India. It is very easy for a procedure. Please go online and find the procedure on where to apply. Okay, so in this way, we ensure the protection of the tribals of these areas from free movement and settlement of people in their area. Okay, this is the inner line permit. Now, please let it remain here only. Let's not get into the realm of it is causing discrimination. We'll discuss that under fundamental rights. Let's focus right now on what the point is. Clearly, this is with respect to inner line permit. Are we clear? This can be done for any part of the country. Whenever the center feels that there is a group of people living in a certain area which has a very different way of life than other parts of the country, then the the central government can issue an order and say, outsiders, before you enter these areas, you have to get a document, or outsiders, you will not be allowed to stay in this area. Clear? Okay, great. So this is called inner line permit, and people living in these states, they will not be allowed to get the benefit of CAA, even if they are illegal migrants coming from Afghanistan, Pakistan, blah blah blah. All this is there. Clear? So this is, and don't worry, there are various areas across the country. In 10 states, you have areas called Schedule 5 areas where outsiders cannot purchase land. Are we clear? So don't panic. Nobody right now has the money to purchase land. So please don't get angry. I want to purchase land. Nobody will purchase land. Firstly, get the money and then we'll see whether you can purchase land or not. Secondly, across the country in states like Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Odisha, right? In various states, Telangana, in various states across the country, there are certain areas where outsiders cannot purchase land. Okay, outsiders meaning us only can't purchase land. Then almost every state has land tenancy laws where you cannot purchase agricultural land above a certain limit. There are many exceptions to our fundamental rights. Okay, our rights are never absolute. We'll discuss that later on. So there is no need to be angry about it. Now, coming to the issues. So some of you were very angry. Why this? Why that? And now the issues. So in fact, when the CAA was passed, the country was divided into two parts. Some people said India wants CA, others said India does not want CA. So Now the nation wants to know what we want. Tell me, what is a problem with CAA 2019? What are the issues? So the issue will largely be along this line only, that there is something called Article 14, and Article 14 gets violated. Article 14 is right to equality. Okay, equality. It gets violated. Now, Sunil, CAA stands for Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. So from here on, I will be using this word CAA 2019. So please don't be confused. Okay, CAA is Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. So Article 14, right to equality, is there for every person. Article 14 is not meant only for citizens, it is for every person. We are treating people differently based on their country of origin, based on their religion, based on their date of entry into India, and based on place of residence. Yes or no? Are we clear on this? So there is this possibility, the allegation that it possibly violates Article 14 because you are treating people differently. Clear, everyone? We are treating people differently. But then you have to understand this point. Now, again, for a lot of you, you have no idea that what is Article 14 in detail. I'll just simply tell you. In our country, rights are not absolute, number one. Rights can be limited. And number two, even if we have equality, our constitution allows for differential treatment. Only positive differential treatment. It is allowed, actually. So there is something called positive discrimination. It is allowed. Now look at CAA. My question to you, please, one by one, just respond in your answer. Does CAA take away anybody's citizenship? Yes or no? Does CAA take anyone's citizenship? One person said yes. No, two have said yes. You please write which person's citizenship is being taken away by CAA. CAA is not taking away anybody's citizenship. CAA is just creating a provision to provide for citizenship. Okay? No, Article 14 is available to everybody, not just to citizens. Don't write that, please. Article 14 is available to everyone. Clear? So don't write that. So CAA is, what question am I asking? I am asking whether CAA takes away citizenship or not. Somebody is replying, it will boost population. Forget that. You answer the question first. So CAA is not taking away anybody's citizenship. We are only making provisions to give citizenship in future to certain people. Okay. Now, the question is, why only these people? So, as per people who have come from especially Pakistan, there are at least 10,000 people living in the country who have come from Pakistan especially, and then Afghanistan also, who have escaped these countries, escaped atrocities happening on them in those countries. And they were largely from non-Muslim religions, largely. So, for example, the religions, Hinduism, Christianity, etc., they are facing atrocities. They came here. Now, these three countries are Islamic countries. So, it is a larger belief that the Muslims may not be facing atrocities. Is it correct? It is not correct. in these countries also, say Pakistan, because world over you will find that Sunnis dominate amongst Muslims, right? More than 80 to 85% people are Sunnis amongst Muslims. So in Pakistan also, it's a Sunni majority country, right? Unlike, say, Iran. In Pakistan, Shias have been facing atrocities. Ahmadiyas have been facing atrocities. In fact, they had to escape to Norway and all now. So it is not that only non-Muslims are facing atrocities, some Muslim groups are also facing atrocities. Of course, not at the same level as the Hindus, definitely, but they also are. Now, your question is very right, that why only these three countries? Why not adding Sri Lanka also? Why not adding China also? Why not adding Myanmar also? In Myanmar also, Rohingya Muslims are facing atrocities. In China also, in the Xinjiang province, Uyghur Muslims are facing atrocities. In Sri Lanka also, allegations of Tamils facing atrocities. Fair enough. Second, why only these religions? Why not atheists? Why not Jews? So this can also be countered that normally in our country, you find that these are the prevalent religions. Then date of entry. Why only all those people who came before 31st of December 2014? Now, because the law was order was for the first time passed in 2014, 15 till last year, so we have continued with that date only. And why this uh, no benefit not being given to areas which are Schedule 6 areas, which are inner line permit areas, all these things. The best counter to this, and the legal counter to this, see, there are a lot of these supposedly right wing lawyers. Uh, though I don't think Harish Salve would love to be being called right wing lawyer, but Harish Salve, a very popular lawyer, is in support of CA, and that's actually correct. This law is not constitutionally wrong, to be very frank. You cannot pinpoint a legal mistake in the law because the government has created a scheme or a program. Now, in our country, we give free ration at 1 rupee, 2 rupees, and 3 rupees per kg to the poor people. Yes or no? Why don't we give eggs also? Why don't we give milk also? Don't poor people need milk? Don't they deserve protein source? Don't they need dates and almonds and cashew nuts, etc.? They do, right? The problem is we don't have money only. Our resources, the economic capacity is limited. That is what we can provide. We can't provide poor people with fruits and vegetables. India does not have that kind of money, right? So that's what we can offer right now. Yes, we would have wanted nobody to pay any tax. We would have wanted that why should people pay tax and all? But India does not have that wealth like some Middle Eastern countries. So, based on our economic capacity, of course, maybe in future we can also add China, we can also add Shias from Pakistan, we can also add Ahmadiyas from Afghanistan. We can in future. But based on our economic capacity, this is what we have done as of now. You can't question this. Why not them also? I think of this. If somebody comes and proposes to you that I love you, you can't say, why only you have come? Others, come on, everybody come to me. I have cleared UPSC. All of you fall in love with me. That can't happen, right? Be logical. So, the idea being that based on our economic capacity, as of now, the first step has been that we have provided avenues for these people to be given citizenship. So, you can't question laws like that. And why not more? It can be done. Yes. Now, coming to one more important element. If legally the law is not wrong, constitutionally valid, Article 14 allows such positive discrimination, example reservation, right? Article 14 allows that you can treat people differently. Then what is the problem? And what was the Shaheen Bagh protest all about? Do you remember the Shaheen Bagh protests? So Shaheen Bagh protest were largely Muslims. Of course, the left-wing liberals were also protesting. And interestingly, uh, liberalism is a very nice word, because liberalism talks about you being open to somebody else's point of view also, but not the liberals of our country. Anyway, so largely Muslims were protesting. Why were they protesting? Now, see, some of you can say that it was a publicity stunt, they had no knowledge and all. Of course, I agree. In any protest, most people who are protesting, they have no knowledge of the ground reality of why they are protesting. But at least some people had the knowledge. If the law is not taking away anybody's citizenship, then why the hell were they protesting? Anyone? Now, don't write sarcastic reasons. Give me genuine reasons. If you can, if you know the reason, give me a genuine reason. Let's see. The provision was very clear. It was not taking away anybody's citizenship. Then why were they protesting? Because of Muslim relatives in their, no, not really. No. Okay. Let me just explain this point now. You also will have a better understanding of why they were protesting. Remember this meme, which is very popular meme. Now, please, it's okay. Hear me out now. This meme, आप chronology समझिए. Understand the chronology. So what Amit Shah in one public press conference had said was that we have made something called CAA. I hope we know, our aspirants, everybody who is awake and is fully functional, knows that it is Citizenship Amendment Act. We have passed CAA. Next target is to make an NPR. What is NPR? National Population Register. After NPR is done, we will create NRC. NRC for the entire country, not just for Assam. Meaning, we will from NPR only collect data for NRC. So this is the sequence of events. We now have CAA, next we have NPR, and then we'll have NRC. Chronology. This became a problem. NRC, we just saw, NRC means what? The National Register for Citizens. NRC. I hope everybody is awake from their sleep and relaxation and are following properly. Now think of it. NRC list has been released. There is a person A. A is a Hindu. And a person B. B is a Muslim. Now, both A and B, their names are not included in the NRC, the list of all the citizens. The Hindu can still apply for citizenship because there is some scope under CAA for his benefit. But if a Muslim's name is not in the NRC, he has no such recourse to any CAA. Are we clear on this? So the Muslims, they were protesting on this ground that in future, because you are saying we'll have an NRC, and right now also the government is not even willing to tell us what documents are valid documents. In future, if I'm not able to submit document, and if I'm a Muslim and I my name is not in NRC, then how will I get citizenship? There is no avenue for me. But for a Hindu, for a Christian, they may have a possible avenue. Just if they can prove that they are living before 2014, that's it. So Muslim will have no opportunity, but Hindus, Christians will have some scope. This was why the Muslims were protesting. That is why later on, Mr. Narendra Modi, in a public rally in Delhi, very clearly said that India has no plans for NRC. So once there's no plan for NRC, then the protest also should not be there. The protest still continued because people are saying, just a few months back, your best friend was, sorry, the home minister was saying that there'll be NRC. Now you are saying no NRC. After 6 months, again you will say NRC. Please give us an assurance that there will be no NRC. Okay. So this was with respect to the problem. Now, this was the actual problem. Of course, I will not deny this. Most people there had no idea. Come on. Actors and actresses had gone there. Do you think Deepika Padukone has any idea on what is CA and all? Do you think Swara Bhaskar has any knowledge on all these things? They have. They read some article and all basic information, but they don't have detailed information. It's okay. They are celebs. They are the face of something. Okay, so it is justified. No problem. Don't be angry. So this is with respect to the issue. Now, let's understand the real issue. As I'm sure you know very well that when you make any law, to implement the law, rules have to be made. For example, when you are saying that we will not treat people who have come from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan as illegal migrants, so you have to also mention a list of documents which will be required. If I have come from Afghanistan, I should have some proof that, see, I came from Afghanistan in 2012 only. Please give me citizenship. I should have some proof of me being a Hindu or a Christian or a Jain. So, what proof will be acceptable? What documents will be acceptable? For all these things, the parliament cannot decide. The executive authority, the government will decide all these things because they have to apply the laws. Very first class rules and laws difference. We discussed this. So, ideally, you have to also notify rules. Sadly, rules for executing CAA 2019 yet to be notified. Yet to be notified. If you have not made the rules, then how is the law being applied on people? So, for all those who are very anxious that, oh, this law is great, can you please tell me how many people have been given the benefit of the CA 2019 so far? How many? Zero. Zero. Rules have not been made. And when we ask the Home Minister when the rules will be made, he says pandemic is there. For election, there is no pandemic. But for work, pandemic. This is a problem. And that is why we feel that it is just an anti-secular kind of law. Your intention was not to give citizenship. Your intention was just to, create divisive politics in the country. Sadly, this is the harsh reality, right? I'll give you one example of one family. So all these NGOs which are working for these people, these illegal migrants coming from Pakistan especially, they have horrific stories to tell of what has happened to them in Pakistan, right? So one such story of a person. So this person fled Pakistan with his wife and 4 kids and is living in some city. Let's ignore the city's name, as a fruit seller, right? What option does he have right now? So he said that while he was in Pakistan, he belonged to a small village. Of course, not a rich person, but a pretty decent way of life, a lower middle class person with small land holding in the village and a farmer. So what happened was the village goons belonging to the local community there, the dominant religious group, they would molest his wife, and not just molest, but they raped his wife. And he was Hindu, of course, this guy, this family, and they raped his wife. And uh, after the rape, they forced the wife, the woman, to bear the child also. The child was born. This happened not once, not twice, but for 4 years. So now this man and his wife, they had four kids. None of the kids belonged to him. All these kids were kids born by the woman of some other people, some local gunda mawalis of the village. This man escaped the country. This Hindu came to India with his wife and those four kids who were not his also. But of course, his wife did bear those kids. This is one such story of atrocities being committed on certain categories of people. So you can very well imagine what these people are going through. And the government has made a mockery of their life by showing somebody hope. Let's see, citizenship law for you only, but not making rules. You are simply making fun of the problems and issues they are facing. This is the harsh reality of our governments. So, when you are in love with a political party, please understand it is just opportunity for them. It's all opportunistic politics. Sadly, that's the reality. We tend to become emotional. Oh, somebody has come up to look into our rights and all. Really, nobody. That is why bureaucracy has to play a very, very important role to ensure that such loopholes, lacunas are eliminated completely. But sadly, they are also quite right. So that is why we think that the purpose of this law was not to provide citizenship. It was just to create divisive politics. Because if you're so eager, so enthusiastic, you'd have gone ahead and notified rules immediately. A month or two are sufficient is sufficient time frame. It does not take 4 years to make rules. However, the pandemic maybe. So this is there with respect to the CAA. And frankly, the government knows this very well. Do you think government had any interest in giving citizenship to these people? No interest. They were not their viable vote bank also. Vote bank was you who believed in the religion. That was you as a vote bank. So this step was for larger public that see we are doing so much for the Hindus of the country. That is one problem. Lack of rules being notified. And one more thing now, this issue can be solved. OCI card cancellation ground. So when you are saying that we will cancel the OCI card on certain grounds, what grounds you have to clarify. You can't say randomly that, oh yes, yes, OCI card can be cancelled. But that is okay. I mean, that is not a big problem. Uh, the government can issue rules and list out all those laws. If you break those laws, then the OCI card can be cancelled. Now, as of now, currently, the case is pending in Supreme Court. CAA 2019 is challenged in Supreme Court, and also government has sought extension till June 2023 to make the rules. Okay, so currently there's an extension sought by the government. The government says that we'll make rules with respect to what? With respect to CAA 2019. Clear? That's it. We are done with the CAA and we are done with the topic citizenship. Don't worry, no question will be asked from CAA till the case is pending in the court. We have additional information. Yes, June 23 is over, but this is how things function in the country. Dates are given and those dates are revamped. and new dates are given. This keeps on happening over and over again. Clear? That's it. Let's take a break now. After the break, we'll take up for discussion Union territories. Break, come back at 8:10 and we'll continue our discussion further. Break, please. We'll discuss UCC when we study DPSP, not right now. Nirbhay, 25 minutes. You take 1 hour break, no problem. The video is already available. You can watch it later on. 15 minutes break is sufficient. Secularism is only followed by Acha. We are trying to quote some people from YouTube, right? That only Hindus follow secularism. It looks nice on some YouTube channel to impress people, but in the reality is way more different. So before we draw inspiration from people, we have to also understand and have our own point of view. A lot of statements that I see read here are not your original statements. I always see that you have drawn inspiration and verbatim copied some random statement. It's okay, but a lot of context goes into making a statement. You are an IAS officer, at least will be in future, so you have to be very careful in the choice of words, right? Okay, that's it. Oh, sorry. Break is not till 8:10. Break is till 8 only. Too long a break. Yeah, it's 7:50. I thought it's 7:58. Come back at 8. Don't come back at 8:10. Okay, let's begin, guys. Tara, sir, you blocked me in chat box. No personal problem should be shared here, please. Your previous experiences look very bleak. Nobody will block you here, Tara. Don't worry at all. Whatever has happened in your personal life. Nobody is blocking anyone. Okay. Break till 8, not 8:10. Slight rectification. Break till 8 only. Okay, no doubts, no concerns. Smita, you have to please refer to the uh, PPT there or the video. NRI is an Indian citizen living outside. OCI is a foreigner who might have been Indian citizen at some point of time. That's a difference. NRI, Indian citizen living outside the country. OCIs are foreigners who have some association with India previously, but are now no longer Indian citizens. Okay. No, Tanish, not important. Kishan, the debate is over. The government has said that they will not be doing it. Gauri, I just mentioned why Muslims had no concern with NCR. See, the problem with NCR is, and to be very frank, do you think the people sitting in Shaheen Bagh, their names will not be included? They will be included. Rich elite people, the poor people, their name will not be included. And for a poor Hindu, people said that there is an opportunity or scope in CA. For a poor Muslim, there is no scope in CA. That was a problem. Uh, Vivek, not really. I mean, yes, largely if there is some poorly framed law with loose remarks made by ministers, it is open to any kind of misinterpretation by other parties also. No dhyana, not required. Now we only have OCI card holder. Rishabh, you can go through it. It will only give you some fodder material. Summer CA may not be relevant until and unless the Supreme Court judgment comes. Yes, Kishan, when you refer to Schedule 6, you will get to know that there are specific parts which are mentioned. It is not that in its entirety we have entire Mizoram is not under Schedule 6 area. Okay, Chakma, Lai, and Mara are the three areas which are under Schedule 6 in Mizoram. A very small part of Mizoram. If you look at the map of Mizoram, towards the bottom, the southern part of Mizoram is the only part under Schedule 6. Later on, tomorrow. Uh, which is a problem with that is that even if NGOs file a PIL, the government is giving a response again and again that yes, we are going to make the rules. Give us 6 more months. Give us 6 more months. So that is there. They can file a PIL, but again, they are largely relying on the goodwill of the government. Pratima, why Indian movies show a lot of things, right? Please don't live your life based on Indian movies. Sorry, legal migration giving citizenship. Possibly, that is again possible, of course. When you are giving a citizenship to illegal migrants, uh, we are also mm, creating a situation where it could result in possible threat. We do not know, but then again, it is for the law enforcement agencies to look into these aspects. Sir, why is government not cancelling OCI cards and citizenship of those who support Khalistan? I mean, that for the government to decide. And please, you listen to all these very famous Punjabi singers who are largely based out of Punjab. say in UK, etc. Very popular singers now, right? With chartbuster songs. All songs you're listening to, all those people, if you look at their posts and etc., they are all pro Khalistani people. Most of them, very few are not. So what do we do? Okay, now that's it. We are done with most concerns. All the concerns, NRC full form and all, this is wrong to ask. It is a crime to ask me NRC ka full form right now. Okay. Let's now move on to union territories. Again, you can simply go and look into the recorded live class to see all those things. Don't expect a mains based question from citizenship. It's a very basic topic where no mains based question has been asked so far. Even for prelims, we have just seen one or two questions in the last 10-12 years. So it's a low priority topic, frankly. Now coming to union territories, part 8 of the Indian Constitution. Part 8. What is part 1? What is part 1? Part 1 is union and its territories. What is part 2 of the Indian Constitution? Citizenship. What is part 5? Tell me. What is part 5? Silence. Union. Part 5 is union, which comprises of executive, legislature, judiciary, everything. What is part 6? Part 6 is states. What is part 8? Part 8 is something we'll be studying now. Union territories. Yeah, what is part 9? Any idea? Part 9? Okay, very good. Part 9 is panchayats. What is part 9A? Municipalities. And what is part 14A? Any idea? Part 14A? Oh, very good. Some of you are mentioning it absolutely correct. Part 14A is tribunals. Okay, great. Anyway, so coming back to union territories, part 8, Articles 239 to 241. How many UTs do we have? Tell me this first before we begin our discussion. How many UTs? 8 union territories. List of all 8 union territories. So we have Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Chandigarh, Delhi, NCT of Delhi, National Capital Territory of Delhi. Then we have Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. So in your school days, you must have read that this is one UT only. These are two UTs, Dadra and Nagar Haveli separately and Daman and Diu separately. In 2019 only, they were merged for administrative convenience. So there is now only one UT called Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Okay. Then, of course, Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar, and Puducherry. What is Puducherry? Puducherry is not just one place. Puducherry is Puducherry, of course, but it's a combination of 4 different places spread across 3 different states. Under Puducherry, you have Yanam from Andhra Pradesh, Mahe from Kerala, and Puducherry and Karaikal. These 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 parts all belong to or come under Pondicherry, which was renamed into Puducherry in 2006. 6. Okay, that's it. Now, the big question, why do we have UTs? What's the reason? UT, Union Territory, an area directly controlled by Union. So, world over, you'll find that there is this concept where even in those countries which are federal, where you have states, center exercises direct control over certain areas. What's the reason? There are two reasons, two factors. Factor number one, special care and protection of tribals. So, in any country, if there is a there is a tribal group, indigenous people, we need to take special care of them, protect them. So, if there is a small group, let's think of this as a state. In this state, if there's a small group of people with a very distinct culture and population, way of life, and they are a part of the state, then the state's culture and way of life will completely subsume the smaller part. So here, center takes direct control to ensure that this part continues to retain its distinct culture. Okay. Secondly, sometimes an area may not have the financial viability to exist on its own, to survive on its own. So, lack of financial viability. So, a lot of these countries have UTs on these grounds. Why do we have UTs? So, India has UTs to ensure four things. In India, number one, of course, uh, national capital. So, a national capital will not be a part of a state. So, NCT of Delhi. For those who are crazy for full forms, NCT stands for National Capital Territory of Delhi. Then there are some strategic reasons. Based on the geography and location, for example, Jammu and Kashmir, Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep. These are classic examples of UTs being or areas being controlled by a center because they are strategically important. Then sometimes there are some areas which are facing some kind of territorial dispute. Territorial dispute. Chandigarh. So both Haryana and Punjab claiming control over Chandigarh. Center says, wait. Belongs to nobody, belongs to me. Lastly, we also have some areas because they have a distinct and unique culture and history. Distinct or unique culture and history. So, areas like Dadra and Nagar Haveli, then Ladakh, Pondicherry. So, we have UTs in our country along these lines. Okay, clear everyone? Now, let us look at some of the constitutional provisions for UTs. First is Article 239. Save as otherwise provided by the Parliament by law. If Parliament makes a law to provide, except that every UT shall be administered by the President. Who administers the UTs? President, acting to such extent as he thinks fit through an administrator. So, of course, our president will do nothing on his own. They appoint a person called administrator to be appointed by him with such designation as he may specify. So, designation will be specified by the president. Whatever name you may call him, they are called administrators only. For example, this administrator in some UTs, they are called administrators only. And in some other UTs, they are called lieutenant governor. Okay, lieutenant. So, Lieutenant, lieutenant, written as lieutenant and pronounced as lieutenant. Don't write lieutenant only, left. Now, in some places, we have those administrators called as LGs in 5 of the UTs. In some UTs, they are called administrators. Like example, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and the third is Lakshadweep. In these 3 UTs, the administrator is known as administrator, but in other UTs, the administrator is called lieutenant governor, LG. Other 5 UTs, meaning UT of J&K, Ladakh, Delhi, Andaman Nicobar, and Pondicherry. Clear? Now, this provision is something we have seen earlier only. Let us see how effective your revisions are going on. Which topic did we see this? I've explained this point also. Don't say governor topic because the word governor is mentioned. Which exact topic? I want to know. Okay, Rishabh, funny. 2 right answers so far. Shreyank, Gauri, Kirtana. Okay. So while we are studying about this person called governor, under which we are studying about the explicit powers of governor, not under discretionary powers only, explicit powers. This is the article we had seen already. I had given the example of Punjab. Example Punjab. So you can refer to the governor's explicit powers. Governor's discretion. Notwithstanding anything contained in Part 6. What is Part 6? Tell me. Part 6 means states. What is this word notwithstanding? Notwithstanding, you will find this word in lot of places. This word is called, meaning of this word is in spite of. Notwithstanding. In spite of whatever is mentioned anywhere. Okay, so notwithstanding anything contained in Part 6, the president may appoint the governor of a state as the administrator of an adjoining UT. Governor of Punjab is made the administrator of Chandigarh, and where a governor is so appointed, and where the governor of Punjab, Banwarilal Purohit, is so appointed as the administrator of Chandigarh, he will exercise his functions as the administrator of Chandigarh independently of the Council of Ministers of Punjab. Right? So we have already seen this provision earlier as well. Now, there are some UTs which have legislatures. 3 UTs have legislatures. One is Jammu and Kashmir. Under the provisions of J&K Reorganization Act, as per the provisions of Government of UTs Act, Pondicherry also, and Delhi has a separate article plus separate law for its own what? For its own legislature. Now, coming to Jammu and Kashmir, I cannot make any comment right now because there is no assembly. Once elections take place, then we'll see as to what exactly will happen. Now, next is Pondicherry. So, Pondicherry has an assembly. There, the state legislative assembly has 33 MLAs. How many MLAs? 33 MLAs. Now, of these 33 MLAs, 30 are elected and 3 are nominated. Nominated by central government. Okay. So this is with respect to Pondicherry. And all these MLAs, they have equal powers. Don't think that the MLAs who are nominated don't have the same power. Same power. Now, let's come to NCT of Delhi, which is the cause of concern for us. Don't mug up all these laws, not important. NCT of Delhi is what is important. Article 239 AA, an article in the Indian Constitution for Delhi. NCT of Delhi has a one more thing. I think yesterday somebody, I don't know, I just saw a passing fleeting glance that some of you had some confusion. NCT and NCR. NCT is the UT of Delhi. Okay. National Capital Territory. NCT. So this is, so when you say Delhi as the UT, we are referring to this area only. NCT, National Capital Territory. But what is NCR? NCR is a interstate regional planning area. Interstate regional planning area. It comprises of course, NCT. It comprises of UP. It comprises of Rajasthan. It has Haryana also. So all of them together, not the states, some parts, some parts of UP like Ghaziabad, Noida, some parts of Rajasthan like Alwar, some parts of Haryana like Faridabad, Gurgaon. So think of this. Somebody says, please clarify through diagram. Okay, diagram. This is NCR. A small part of NCR is NCT. Okay, where you will have some areas UP, you will have some area Haryana, you will have some area Rajasthan. That's it. Okay. This is with respect to NCR. Now, I'm not sure if there's any further clarification needed. If it is needed, uh, you'll have to Google search, go to Delhi, and draw an exact map of Delhi on your own. Now, the CM, the NCT of Delhi has a 70 seat assembly. So there are 70 MLAs in Delhi. Number two, look at this point here. Look at this point. Can you find some anomaly in this point? The CM is appointed by the president. Really? CMs in other states. Who appoints the chief minister? Tell me. The CM is always Chief Justice of High Court? Murder charges. Murder charges on this person who's writing this answer. The CM is always appointed by governor of the state. But look at Delhi. The CM of Delhi is being appointed by the president of India. That's again a problem. I mean, then who is the head of Delhi? Head of state is the person who is appointing head of government. So if you belong to UP, head of state is the governor. But if you belong to Delhi, who is head of state? LG or president? Confusion. Anyway, one more thing. When it comes to the number of ministers, maximum number of ministers in states and the center should not cross how much? 10%. So look at the points of difference. I'll just highlight the points of difference. Normally it is 15% for Delhi, 10%. And very important, very important. The states have full power to make laws on all topics in the state list. Delhi sadly does not have or enjoy powers at the same level. The Assembly of Delhi can make laws on all matters in state list except three topics: public order, police, and land. Okay. Public order is state list entry 1, police is state list entry 2, and land is state list entry 18. SL stands for, before somebody says what is SL, what is SL? State list. Okay. Now, Parliament by law. What is by law? Please clarify quickly. By law is what kind of majority? Simple majority. Parliament by law will regulate number of seats in the assembly, including SC reservation. So, how many seats in Delhi? How many seats in Delhi will be regulated or will be reserved for scheduled castes? This will be decided by what? The Parliament. Then, what will be the boundary of the territories of the constituencies? What will be the size of the constituency? Normally, it is the delimitation commission which decides, but for Delhi, it is decided by what? Decided by the Parliament. So, what will be the size of an MLA's constituency? The Parliament decides. And all other matters relating to the functioning of assembly. So the parliament has complete control over deciding what parts Delhi assembly will have. And not just this. The Parliament is the competent authority to make laws over all matters. Look at this, of state list and the concurrent list. Means what? Yes, Delhi Assembly has the power to make laws on state list subjects. Parliament also has the power to make laws on all state list subjects. Clear? So think of it like Delhi has no state list. It's all concurrent list only. Because even the Parliament has the power to make laws with respect to GNCTD. So, what is NCTD? National Capital Territory of Delhi. NCT of Delhi. Clear on this? Please remember this point. This point is very important. Delhi Assembly cannot claim anything because Parliament has the power to make laws on every topic in the state list. Are you able to understand the consequence of it? Every topic in the state list. Clear? We'll come to it shortly again. Now, what has been the problem, the bone of contention? The bone of contention has been this: LG versus CM. LG versus CM. Now, who has the real power? If I ask you a simple question, in a parliamentary democracy, tell me, who is the real head? The head of government, the CM, the PM, etc. Let's read now. If that's the case in Delhi also, Article 239 AA Clause 4. There shall be a council of ministers consisting of not more than 10%, blah blah blah, all that nonsense is there, with the CM at the head to aid and advise the lieutenant governor. CM at the head to aid and advise the LG. Fair enough. Just like other states also. Yes or no? That's correct. Now, in the exercise of his functions, in relation to matters with respect to which the assembly has power to make laws. What are those matters on which assembly has powers to make laws? Tell me. Which matters? Stateless subjects. Yes or no? What else? Concurrent list subjects. On these matters. Now comes the catch. Except insofar as the LG is by or under any law required to act in his discretion. Fair enough. LG has discretion also. So far we have seen that yes, the LG who is going to be there, right, on will work on the advice of Council of Ministers. But if there is certain provision in under any law where LG has to act, he can act in his discretion also. But what is his discretion? That the law decides. However, what happens if there is some difference of opinion between LG and the chief minister? What if the CM says that, sir, we are having a party tomorrow, all the government employees are coming, I want to order paneer butter masala, PBM. This is my advice. The LG says, no, 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 no. I hate paneer butter masala. I don't like paneer. I am lactose intolerant. I want butter chicken. Difference of opinion. Kejriwal, the CM, wants what? Paneer butter masala. LG says, no, butter chicken. What happens then? Provided that in case of difference of opinion between the LG and his ministers on any matter, LG shall refer it to the president for the decision. Of course, LG will say, let the president decide butter chicken or paneer butter masala. And of course, will act. Lieutenant Governor shall refer it to the president for decision and act according to the decision given by the president. But in the meantime, both the people are feeling hungry. All the people sitting in the meeting are feeling hungry. The president will decide in 10-15 days. They can't sit there feeling hungry. Yes or no? Of course they can't. So, in the meantime, that the president decides, the look at this now. And read here. Pending such decisions, in the meantime, till the president decides, it shall be competent for the LG in any case where the matter, in his opinion, is so urgent that it is necessary for him to take immediate action, to take such action. So, till the time the president decides, she'll taste both these things and decide, the LG can act independently. Are we clear on this? Everyone? So, if the chief minister says, sir, please appoint Mr. ABC as the home secretary, LG says, no, I will appoint Miss PQR as the home secretary. Difference of opinion. LG says, let the president decide. But in the meantime, LG will say, I am appointing PQR as the home secretary. Did we understand this point? If there is any difference of opinion, the LG will send the matter to president, but in the meantime, the LG can act independently. So don't you think the LG will always create some difference of opinion and keep on referring the matter to president only? This causes a problem, right? So it is nowhere mentioned that LG is bound by the advice of ministers, and also he is being given lot of scope to act independently. This was not a real concern till Mr. Kejriwal came to power, and we had Najib Jung as the LG at that point of time. And Najib Jung, true to his name of Jung, he had a war with Arvind Kejriwal and everything. This matter went to Delhi High Court first. It's a matter between the center and the UT. It went to Delhi High Court first. Delhi High Court in 2016 decided and said that the LG of Delhi exercises complete control over all matters of NCT of Delhi. Delhi High Court actually said that LG is the boss, which is a very weird thing to say, because in a parliamentary system, if you have an elected government, then they are the real authority. Otherwise, if you say LG is the real boss, you are giving LG all the authority without any accountability. Whereas the Council of Ministers have all the accountability towards the people, responsibility towards the people, but without any authority. This is the problem. Anyway, this matter went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court in 2018 rectified that very poorly framed judgment. Supreme Court said that, see, the executive head of the state is the chief minister. Please, LG, you have to follow the advice of Council of Ministers. Behave yourself. And LG, yes, you can reserve some matters. Reserve a matter for the consideration of the president only in exceptional situations. Don't reserve every silly matter. And even then, give reasons in writing. So we say, for reasons to be recorded. Are we clear? So here, the Supreme Court judgment rectified the wrong which was being done. Supreme Court also said that Delhi government does not require LG's consent. Does not require LG's consent. But yes, just like in the states at the central level, it is a duty of the PM, duty of the CM to furnish information to the president and governor. Just like that, it should be the duty of the chief minister to also inform the LG, keep him updated with all this information. Okay, this with respect to the Supreme Court judgment. Of course, there is no definition of exceptional situation that can't be given also. So possibility of misuse was there, but was largely minimized. Now, in 2021, the government again modified the NCT Delhi Act, the GNCTD Act, Government of NCT of Delhi, GNCTD Act. And the government said, center said, okay, Supreme Court gave a judgment. We have to also ensure Supreme Court judgment is followed. Yes or no? And we have to promote harmony. Harmonious relationship between the legislature and the executive must be done. Fair enough. Such nice, noble gesture on the part of central government. We always, keep on questioning central government's intentions, right? Central government, some ulterior motive. Look at them. Look at the intention. So nice, so noble that we want to give effect to Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court says CM is the boss. LG is not the boss. We just want to modify the law to add those things. We want to create harmony between the legislature and the executive. Okay. What changes were made? The term government referred to in any law made by the assembly will imply LG. But Supreme Court said that CM is the boss. You are saying that government of Delhi means LG. I mean, the government of any state or the country means the prime minister, chief minister, not the governor or the president. Then, rules to regulate the procedure and the conduct of business in the assembly must be consistent with the Lok Sabha rules. So, Assembly of Delhi should follow Lok Sabha rules. Legislative Assembly Delhi must follow Lok Sabha rules or be in line with Lok Sabha rules. Number 3. Now, one very important question to you. What is the role of assembly or the parliament? Tell me. In a parliamentary system, the lifeblood of parliamentary system is what? Accountability. What is the role of parliament? Towards the executive, what is the role of parliament? Tell me. No, towards the executive. Towards the executive. Keeping the executive in check, not in general, but towards the executive, the role of legislative assembly or the parliament legislatures is to keep them in check. Look at the change. The act prohibits the assembly from making any rule to enable itself or its committees to consider the matters of day-to-day administration of Delhi government. Assembly of Delhi cannot question Delhi government. What is the meaning of this? What type of nonsense is this? Assembly can't question the Delhi government, cannot conduct any inquiry also in relation to administrative decisions. Imagine today a law is made that parliament will no longer question the government. We'll go crazy. What the hell is happening? And here the Delhi government implies LG. Yes or no? So the Assembly of Delhi cannot question the LG. Let me just remind you, government was saying that we are giving effect to Supreme Court judgment, okay? And Supreme Court judgment said that LG, please follow CM's advice. Delhi government, you don't need the consent of LG. Look at the change. On certain matters, as specified by LG only, his opinion must be obtained. On certain matters, as specified by LG, LG's opinion must be obtained before taking any executive action. But Supreme Court had said that you don't need the approval of LG. How is this particular amendment, this law, giving any kind of effect to Supreme Court judgment? It is exactly the opposite. And in what time? We don't know. Within what time frame should the LG give his opinion? Nothing is mentioned. Then the act also requires LG to reserve certain bills passed by the assembly for the consideration of the president, just like referential veto. Bills which may diminish the power of High Court of Delhi, bills which the president may direct to be reserved, dealing with salaries, allowances, etc. So now, Delhi Assembly, you cannot increase the salary of your own MLAs. Such bills have to be sent to center. The center will approve. Relating to official languages of Delhi, etc. So in all these cases, this was done in 2021. Are we clear on this? Everybody? This is a provision which was applicable. Look at the government directly making laws in contravention to Supreme Court judgments and then saying we are giving effect to Supreme Court judgment. But what happened was that some parts of this law were challenged, of course, in the Supreme Court. The judgment came this year only. And not just this, there was one more problem which was there. The problem was that the real bone of contention between Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Or the central government was control over officers. Who has the power? Who has the power to appoint or transfer officers? Because when you say that these officers working under the state Public Service Commission is actually under entry 41 of state list, or officers working under the states, right? Let's write this. Officers under the state. So if you are an officer under a state, then you largely are going to function where? Under the control of the CM. So central government was constantly saying, no, we control. Okay. So this was with respect to the control issue of officers. Who controls the officers? The central government or the what? Arvind Kejriwal or Delhi government. Let's not name. That's why I skipped on naming Narendra Modi. Right. Let's call central government only, because if I keep on naming Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi, you will think that they are fighting. It's a central government and the Delhi government which are fighting, right? Now, control over services and also with respect to the previously passed law. This was challenged in the what? In the court. Just before going on a summer vacation, Supreme Court passed a judgment around 5-10 days back, before the summer vacation. They passed a judgment stating that the control over services and the civil servants in the NCTD lies with Delhi government. And here, Delhi government is the chief minister. Are we clear on this? The control of the officers and civil servants in the NCT of Delhi lies with the chief minister, not the center. Clear? Number two, center's power is limited to only public order, police, and land. That's it. Center's power is limited to only these areas, nothing beyond that. Of course, because that is what the constitution also says, that only these are the small areas wherein the Delhi government cannot, or the assembly cannot make laws. Now, uh, number three, Delhi government's powers are restricted only in matters relating to public order, police, and land. Meaning, Delhi government's power is only limited in these three areas. In all other areas, Delhi government has been given full power of state list. And number four, the LG, that is VK Saxena. The LG may exercise discretion only on those matters which are outside the purview of Delhi government. Which matters? Public order, police, and land. Are we clear so far? Everybody. This was Supreme Court's judgment giving all the control to Delhi government, not the central government, over the civil servants in Delhi. Clear? So again, the matter was closed by Supreme Court. But on the date on which Supreme Court went on a vacation, summer vacation, that same night, governor, sorry, center issued a notification and promulgated an ordinance. This was the ordinance promulgated by the center. Ordinance, Article 123. What does this ordinance say? Now let's read this. Notwithstanding in spite of whatever is mentioned in any judgment, order, or decree of any court, the Assembly of Delhi will have no power over entry 41. Supreme Court had said that Delhi government has power over the services. The ordinance says, forget what is mentioned in any judgment. Delhi government has no power over officers. Number two, LG shall act in his sole discretion, his own discretion, in matters which fall outside the purview of powers conferred on the assembly, but in respect of which powers or functions are entrusted or delegated to him by the president. If any power is entrusted to him, delegated to him by the president, by the center, then our LG will act independently on those matters. Then, central government may make rules to provide for matters in connection with the service conditions of all officers in Delhi. So, central government will make rules to decide on appointment, transfer, etc. with respect to what? Delhi. And they have made a body also now. This body is called National Capital Civil Service Authority. National Capital Civil Service Authority. What is this body? National Capital Civil Service Authority is a body which has been created under the ordinance. It is a three-member body. Please focus now. It's a three-member body. Who is the chairman? Chief Minister. Mr. Kejriwal is the chairman of the body. Then why is he sad? Other two members are the Chief Secretary and the Principal Home Secretary. These two are the other members, a three-member body. What is a quorum for the meeting? Quorum for meeting is two. If two people come, meeting will take place. And all matters to be decided by majority vote. 2:1. Now tell me, the Chief Secretary and the Home Secretary are being appointed by central government. Yes or no? And you have added CM also there. In this three-member body, even if CM does not come, these two people will come, the meeting will be held, and all decisions will be taken. If the CM comes also and CM says something, these two other people will say the exact opposite, and the task is done. And not just this, what's it function? Recommendation of the transfer, posting, vigilance, training for all Group A and Danix employees to LG. Right? So this is with respect to the functions performed by this National Capital Civil Service Authority. Wait. LG can return the recommendations in case of dispute if by chance one of the IS officers goes crazy. He says, no, Arvind Kejriwal, I am with you. Then also one more check is there. LG's decision shall be final. Here also, LG's decision is final. Why exactly do we have this body? If you wanted to give no power to the chief minister, but it's a nice thing, right? I mean, you have said that, sir, we are creating a body for you, sir. Please come and sit in the body. But we are not giving you any kind of power. Okay. Are we clear now? This has been currently challenged. Now, of course, let me just clarify one thing here before you get angry and all. This matter is pending in the Supreme Court. This ordinance. Pending in Supreme Court. I'll just mention here. Next hearing is, I think, what was Monday? 10th was Monday, right? So 17th. 17th of July 23. So hopefully next Monday we'll have this hearing of what exactly has happened. So Supreme Court will give a judgment. But now, this ordinance, right now it's an ordinance made by the government. But when the parliamentary session comes, right, which session will come? Tell me. Which session is going to come? Monsoon session. Okay, great. When the monsoon session comes, this ordinance must be tabled and it will be passed. Can the parliament make such laws to curtail the powers for Assembly of Delhi? Can the parliament make laws on stateless subject? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Parliament is competent to make laws over all matters of state list. This is what Mr. Kejriwal is worried about. That is why he was trying to get support of the opposition MPs, because in Rajya Sabha, BJP does not enjoy majority. there this bill can be blocked. Are you clear? So this is with respect to the current situation. You will have to mug up all these points till the latest judgment, which will come later on. Right? This is what is there as far as the Delhi's issue is concerned. You just have to revise it multiple times. You'll be good to go. So, what is the issue? Issue number one, a very, very important issue. First thing, there is something called accountability authority mismatch. Look at the problem here. I'll I'll firstly mention this. CM. Does CM here have accountability? Yes or no? Tell me. CM has the accountability towards people. He is accountable to people. But CM has not been given any authority. Without authority. Number two, look at LG. LG. Does he have any kind of accountability? LG is an appointed person. He is not accountable to people. LG has all the authority without any accountability. This is a situation which means there is something called accountability authority mismatch. Why do we say mismatch? Because please be logical here. The person who has all the accountability should be given the authority. Because if things go wrong, people will blame Arvind Kejriwal, not LG. LG is not chosen by people. So, rightfully, the person who is responsible for the performance of functions, fulfillment of promises towards people, they should be given all the authority. If it does not happen, then there is a mismatch. The person with accountability should have the authority. Second point, lack of control over the civil servants. It is also going to cause an impediment in the effective functioning. Impediment, obstruction in effective functioning. This is what is called the triple chain of accountability: the political, the public, the administrative accountability, right? Triple chain of accountability. See, understand this. Again, civil servant. Civil servant is accountable to the government, ministers, and the government is in turn accountable to people. But here, the government is accountable to people, but the civil servants are not responsible, accountable to you. They are accountable to central government. How will you perform the functions? So when any party wins the election, it gets to control power. Yes or no? It gets to control power. You will say, yes, sir, power. No, it actually gets to control bureaucracy. You wield the power. They control you. Every party which comes to power has some kind of vision, some kind of ideology. It is you who is going to translate that vision into reality, and they have no control over you. This is problem number two. Secondly, LG. There is no time frame mentioned anywhere for LG to decide. No time frame for LG to decide, which means what? Delays in decision making. So some issues that are there, let's hope that these issues are resolved uh, after a Supreme Court judgment. See, you will have to agree on one thing. Whether you don't like Mr. Kejriwal's drama, or you are a big fan of the central government, you have to agree on one thing, that then if there's an election, right, and there's an elected government, then they should have the rightful authority. If you really don't want this to happen, then modify the constitution, remove the elected government only. Then why do you have the sham of conducting elections? We already have municipal corporations in Delhi. That's it. If you have elections, please, we need to also devolve powers. That's it. Just because a person with freebie politics defeated you in elections, don't be angry. This is just anger politics, nothing else. Anyway, so these are the issues. We are done now with these issues. I'll again repeat, barring just one thing, that is a Supreme Court judgment on which a question was asked earlier only. Everything, this slide is very important, this slide is important, this slide is important, and from this point onwards, everything is important. You have to mug up everything. So please make sure you remember all these things, revise multiple times, and you will be good to go. That's it. We are done with the union territories. Now, Article 370. Article 370. So, what exactly is Article 370? Article 370 provides for special provision for Jammu and Kashmir and temporary provision for Jammu and Kashmir. So we have no longer any questions now. Let me show you the leaderboard. Hari, Kirti, and Janvi, toppers for the day. And then you have a lot of people at rank 3, and then few at rank 15. Okay. Now, let me just ask you a question. Ten seconds only. A or B? Article 370 has been removed. A for yes, B for no. A lot of you said that Article 370 has been removed, repealed. Removed, repealed, same thing. But actually, temporary removed, de-operationalized. Amazing. Don't worry. We'll see what has happened to Article 370, whether it has been removed, repealed, or it has been modified. What has happened? Now, as far as the story of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, it is best left for your IR classes to be discussed under what happened in Jammu and Kashmir, all this. Hari Singh, the plebiscite, the point of how the separate body was created. So, just to cut the long story short, the UN Security Council resolution number 47, because when Hari Singh, Maharaja Hari Singh came to India for help because Pakistan had infiltrated Jammu and Kashmir, Nehru sent the forces, but on the advice of Mountbatten, Nehru also approached UN. So Mountbatten told him, "Sir, we have made a body called UN for you only. Please go and complain there. World leader, sir, don't fight." Nehru felt, "Oh, world leader." And he went and complained to UN. UN Security Council was sitting idle only. It hardly had issues. It was waiting for how to interfere in some newly independent countries. So this matter went to UN. The UN said, stop fighting, ceasefire. People stopped fighting. Then UN said, let's ask the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Let us go for plebiscite. Let us ask the people of Kashmir as to what exactly is the what exactly do they want, to be a part of India or go to Pakistan. But before that, uh, Pakistan, Pakistan, you withdraw all your forces and tribesmen from Jammu and Kashmir. And India, India, you also keep only sufficient and limited forces to maintain law and order. Take these two steps, and then voting will take place, and plebiscite. The voting will decide the future. Now, India said, Pakistan, come on, please leave, leave, leave. UN is saying leave. Pakistan said, no, 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 India, you leave. But India said, sir, but the first condition is you leave. Pakistan said, no, 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 this is not first or second condition. There are two conditions. You leave, we leave. India said, no. Condition one is Pakistan, you leave. Pakistan said, no. Condition is that both of us have to leave. And eventually, nobody left. Plebiscite or voting by the people. What is plebiscite? Plebiscite means voting on important issues. So plebiscite could never take place, and this is the current situation. Clear? So this part is called Sakshgam Valley, which has been given by Pakistan to China on its own, 1963. This part is called Azad Kashmir, Gilgit Baltistan, right? Together called POK. And these buggers, they shamelessly call this as IOK, India occupied Kashmir. No shame at all. Anyway, so a separate in our Constituent Assembly, N. Gopala Swamy Iyengar, who was also the PM of Jammu and Kashmir and the Diwan Bahadur, he was given the task to prepare a separate article for Jammu and Kashmir, right? Which was called the Draft Article 306 capital A, which later on became Article 370. So Jammu and Kashmir was treated separately and differently for a temporary period. Why temporary period? Because the government said that as of now, we cannot negotiate the terms of settlement with Jammu and Kashmir. And Maharaja Hari Singh had only given up three powers to India: defense, external affairs, and communication. Just these three powers. So this was with respect to the separate treatment of Jammu and Kashmir. Until the final terms of settlement or accession are not finalized, the accession of Jammu and Kashmir to India will be treated as purely temporary. However, Jammu and Kashmir will be an integral part of India. Article 370. That's the very first clause. Secondly, in 1951, a separate constituent assembly was formed for Jammu and Kashmir. Constituent Assembly. What is the task of this body called Constituent Assembly? Tell me. What is the task? The task is to create a constitution. This body was formed in 1951. It took around 6 years of time, and in 1957, this body gave to Jammu and Kashmir a separate constitution. A separate constitution was created for Jammu and Kashmir, meant only for Jammu and Kashmir. Are we clear on this? And once the constitution was created, the Constituent Assembly was dissolved. Task is over. That's it. Done. So this is what is the story of Jammu and Kashmir. But our point of understanding is Article 370. What is Article 370 or what was Article 370? Firstly, please understand, as per this article, Article 1 and Article 370, these two articles are of the Indian Constitution are applicable to J&K. Meaning what? Only two Indian articles were applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. But if Article 1 is applicable, Clause 1 is applicable, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. Meaning what? Jammu and Kashmir is also a part of the union, and no state has the right to move out of India. That is why we say that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. Now, if you wanted to apply other articles on Jammu and Kashmir to apply other provisions of the Constitution on Jammu and Kashmir, what is required? Very simple. Presidential order is required. President to issue order. But with the consent of what? Government of the state. So Jammu and Kashmir state government's consent was required to implement what? To implement the other provisions of Indian Constitution on Jammu and Kashmir. See, by 2019, almost two-thirds of Indian Constitution was applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. But a lot of things were not applicable. For example, Article 3 was not applicable. To bifurcate Jammu and Kashmir's permission was required. So some articles were not applicable, others were applicable. Anyway, now comes the most important element. We all know very well that Parliament can make laws for any state on the entire union list and the concurrent list subjects. Yes or no? That's the power of Parliament. Here also, Parliament can make laws on union list as well as the concurrent list subjects for Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, it can, but there are two conditions. Case 1. See, if the topic in the union list if topic relates to defense, if topic relates to external affairs, foreign policy, or communication, means of communication, then the Parliament, to make laws on union list topics also, needs to consult the state government. Then consultation with government of state. Consultation. But in case 2, on all other topics of union list and concurrent list, concurrence, binding order of government of state required, approval required. Look at the provision. I mean, Take an example. Can just answer yes or no. Can the parliament make laws on any union list topic for Tamil Nadu? Any union list topic? Yes or no? Tell me. Of course. Can the parliament make laws on any union list topic for Bihar? Yes, of course. But the same parliament could not make laws on union list topics for Jammu and Kashmir without their permission. This was Article 370. But let's say some of you may say, sir, no, this is very bad. I want to change this. I want to modify this article. Please, sir, modify it. Can you modify it? Yes, we can. Modification of Article 370. How to modify Article 370? Very, very simple. President can issue orders for modifying Article 370. And this is mentioned under the same article only, Article 370, Clause 3. So you will say, sir, very easy. President can simply issue an order and modify Article 370, including making the article inoperative also. Can do it. Then what's the problem? A small condition. The condition was that when you make such a modification, the recommendation is required. Recommendation of what? State government required? No. Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir required. Wait. Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. This body was already dissolved in 1957 on the 25th of January. Members are also dead. How will they give approval? I mean, if they give approval, it will be very awkward. People who are dead are giving approval. So that may not be possible. This was a real concern. That to modify Article 370, the permission needed of certain people, those people are not alive only. How will they permit? Are you clear? So what do we do now? Something has been done. What has been done, we'll discuss tomorrow. Are we clear? Let's end our discussion here only. Tomorrow we'll see what exactly was done to get around this. What kind of strategy government used? Did they revive the dead people? Did they call upon this, what is that called? Some Ouija board or something was used? Or maybe some kind of such program or technique was used? I am not sure whether they use some Ouija board or not. But I'll tell you what the government actually did tomorrow. Okay, that is all for me for today, guys. Jai Hind. Questions, if any, I'll take up your concerns. Plebiscite basically means voting. See, there are two things, referendum and plebiscite. Referendum means when people vote on bills. People vote on bills. In our country, it does not take place because it's a large democracy. But if people are asked, should we pass the bill, yes or no, and the entire country says yes or no, referendum. Plebiscite means voting on important issues. Should we attack Pakistan? Type yes or no and send on this number by 9 p.m. So that's called plebiscite. Anuradha, not all civil servants. The State Public Service Commission employees are appointed by the state government and removed by the state government. But for Delhi, they also are being controlled by the center only now. Okay. That is the point there. No, Alina, we don't have to remember them word by word. Muni leaderboard board was already shown earlier. Now it has been corrupted because of one poll I took. No, no, it's not mentioned in the constitution, Ashwant. What conclusion of Article 370? No conclusion. We'll complete the topic tomorrow. So hundreds things is one thing that. Acha, oh, you're saying 100 बातों की एक hundreds things is one thing. Okay. That British government rule was end. Same Indian government rule. Indian government rule will end. No, I would not support this line of thinking. You can change the party in power, but if you say government's rule will come to an end, so if you are into that idea of having a stateless society, I may not be on board with you. Parties may keep on changing. They should change. Effective governance, very important. But if you want to demolish the structure of governance only, sorry, count me out of that. Deepak, Bangladesh is never claimed to be a friendly country. It's a neighbor. It has to be friends. Yes, Megha, we can. Shreyank, not really. If the will of the majority wants to pass a law, so be it. What's the problem? Sanchit, not a functioning one, but they can also have an assembly. Okay, I will not write on this page. I'll write here. Task for today: political theory, revision of PPTs, Yojana Kurukshetra for the month of May, and monthly magazine for the month of April. Please don't forget that. I am unable to see other people chat. Bhai, what is the concern? You see your own chat. Surya, SC can what can SC do? Gauri, ask your question here. What's the concern? Okay, the monthly magazine of June has come. So if the monthly magazine of June has come, after you end the revision of or studying of April, you please start with the month of June. Shriman, no limit, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15 times. Yes, others can leave. Editorials we should always follow. Whether you read the newspapers or not, please. LG, as of now, LG is a competent authority in Delhi. When Supreme Court gives the judgment, then we'll decide. Shovik, because at that point of time, Article 1 was not there only. Because the Indian Constitution came into force in 1950. Okay, that is why. This was pre 1950. No, Surya, you cannot prevent the parliament from making laws in future. That can't be done. Yes, cost of ordinance can override a Supreme Court judgment, but the Supreme Court can again cancel it. Shivam, the recording is available, but I'll again explain shortly. We have CAA, then we'll create an NPR, list of all the people in the country. From that NPR, we'll select those who are Indian citizens and we'll release a list of Indian citizens. Those who are left out, if you are a Hindu, or maybe you can get help of CA. If you are a Muslim, no scope for you. Pooja, 2nd August is the beginning of hearing on Article 370. That day the hearing will start. Result won't come out. Okay. Palak, it is just nomenclature. Does not really matter. Names keep on changing. Anjali, don't worry. We'll discuss tomorrow what happened with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. Sunil, after half the class over, political theory, it's a book. Or what if a book? Then who is the writer? Look at the front page, you'll find a list of it's an NCRT book. So it's a lot of people who have contributed to it. The very first class I had mentioned, political theory, it's an NCRT book. Finding new ways to disappoint me. Okay, guys, that is all as far as today's discussions are concerned. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, that's all for me. Jai Hind.